Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. Week 0 went okay, break even. Went 3-3 plus 0.02 units, so basically break even. UTEP, so many chances to win that game. Whatever, let's put it in the past. Move on to week 1. Got Kent State at UCF here. Line opened up 34.5. Central Florida favored. Total opens up at 60.5. Let's go.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
Sharp action came in early on UCF in this one. Line reacted to it. It got up into the high 30s. In fact, I saw it at 41 on PointsBet, which is crazy. Right now, it looks like it's sitting at 36.5 on most sports books. Public's about split even, handle still leaning towards Central Florida. Straight up, I have no clue what to expect from this Kent State team here. They got absolutely gutted. Last year's roster got absolutely gutted. They're sitting dead last in returning production, both overall and offensively. 0 returning starters on the offense. 0. I mean, quarterback Colin Schlee, gone. Cooper, guy rushed for 1,300 yards. He's gone. All 11 starters, gone. But it's not just the offense. The Kent State defense is sitting at 130th in estimated returning production as well. So, I mean, both sides of the ball, Kent State just absolutely ripped apart from last year's roster. I mean, when you're speaking specifically about the defense, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that there's new faces there because Kent State's defense was pretty awful last year. 94th in points per game allowed, 112th in yards per game allowed, 88th in yards per play allowed. Ready to get even more confused about Kent State? Their head coach also gone. Sean Lewis, he took the OC job under Dion at Colorado. They bring in Kenny Burns, who's the 7-year assistant under PJ Fleck. Obviously, you got to like PJ Fleck, so maybe he's a good hire. I really don't know much about him. But I think the expectations for Kent State this year are pretty much in the basement. The thing is, if you take Kent State's numbers from last year, actually that 36.5 point spread looks beautiful because they actually match up decently against what UCF's going to come out and try to do. As you can see here, both teams like to run the ball. Both last year, top 35 in rush frequency and rushing yards per game. And if you look at Kent State's offense matched up against UCF's defense from last year, these numbers indicate that Kent State should be able to run the ball on UCF. They got a top 50 unit, UCF back at 87. But keep in mind, these are Kent State's offensive numbers. Like I said, they lost all 11 starters and a new head coach. So I'm thinking we could probably just toss these numbers out. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, to be honest. The team loses on one side of the ball, all 11 starters, new head coach, and new offensive coordinator. So, I mean, your guess is as good as mine from what to expect here. When we flip things around and look at the UCF offense against the Kent State defense, which becomes pretty obvious why they're laying so many points. Central Florida offense smokes the Kent State defense in every single category. UCF had a really badass offense last year with John Reese Plumlee at quarterback, 14th in the country in effective run, according to Beta Rank. Yeah, they can run the football. But we kind of got a similar situation here. If you're using last year's numbers, Kent State's best defensive attribute was stopping the run, which is encouraging. But again, we're talking about brand new starters, new head coach, new defensive coordinator. I mean, Kent State flipped basically their entire program. And then you add on the fact that this game's being played at home in Central Florida in FBC Morgan Stadium. That makes all the difference because look at UCF's defensive home away splits. Their defense at home was actually good, allowing just 16.7 points per game, 3rd in the country in red zone percentage. Look at the rushing numbers. On the road last year, Central Florida was one of the worst run defenses in the league, allowing 5.8 yards per carry, 124th in the FBS. But at home, that number drops all the way down to 3.8 yards per carry, a whole 2 yards per carry better, 49th in the nation, a 75 rank jump. And Central Florida's defensive line is looking to be the spotlight of their defense this year because they're bringing back 3 of the 4 starters on that line. So if you're thinking Kent State's just going to roll in there and run the ball on UCF here, I'm not seeing it. So in conclusion, I know if you look at the overall numbers from last year, you might think that Kent State can run the ball on this UCF defense, but with 11 new starters, a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach against a UCF defense that was actually really good at home and brings back basically its whole defensive line, you want to know what Kent State's team total is set at for this game? 9.5. That's how many points the odds makers are expecting the Kent State Flashes to score. 9.5. That tells the whole story right there. As far as betting the game, I mean, it just feels insane laying 40 points, but no way I would touch Kent State. I mean, even the first half line is UCF minus 21.5, juice towards Central Florida. So there's a chance I may end up passing here. But when more markets open, I might throw together a same game parlay, maybe like Central Florida to score the first touchdown, maybe Central Florida first quarter -7.5, something in there. I will let you know on the live show where I'm going live Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll go through all the games and I'll give you my final decisions. If you want all of our top bets sent directly to your phone, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. Also, Discord being launched today as I'm recording this. I'm recording this on Tuesday. So that by the time you're watching this, Discord should be up and running. That's all on KyleKirms.com if you're interested in that. College football week 1. We got kind of a weak Thursday, but this weekend as a whole should be a good one. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.